It just doesn't feel real, like someone's missing, like nobody's trying to do anything about it. Nobody's trying to find where she is. Everybody's just trying to sweep it under the rug. Yeah, it just feels unreal.
Ebony Giddens was last seen in Columbus, Georgia on March 11, 2018. She lived with her children in an apartment on Montclair Drive. At 11 p.m. on March 11, 2018, Ebony and a relative spoke over the phone. According to said relative, their conversation was normal as she didn't seem distressed, nor did she speak about taking a trip or leaving home. Today, 3 years later, Ebony is still missing. Ebony Giddens is 27 years old. According to Facebook, she is from and lived in Columbus, Georgia. Ebony is a mother. She raised her 3 sons in an apartment on Montclair Drive. She loved the Seahawks football team and she loved church. And all she wanted to do was to be better for her children. At 7:30 a.m. on March 12th, Ebony's brother came to the apartment where she and her children lived. As with every morning, he was there to take the 2 children to school. Upon knocking on the front door, he received no answer and then tried to contact her via phone and text. However, his text messages went unanswered and all his calls went directly to voicemail. Worried, he rushed out to the children's father, Roderick Daniel, who told him he'd spoken with Ebony the day before. Roderick then traveled to Ebony's apartment where the 2 men continued to knock on the door, ring the doorbell, and call her cell phone. Eventually, her 5-year-old son answered the door and told them his mother was missing. Upon gaining access to the apartment, the 2 men searched each room but found no sign of Ebony. While her cell phone was missing, her purse was still in the living room along with her keys and wallet. Ebony's brother then called their mother, Leah Giddens, to see if she had been in contact with her daughter. She then proceeded to contact Ebony's ex-boyfriend, Malcolm Jackson, at work, but could only get a hold to his secretary, who told her he was there but was unable to speak. That same day, Ebony was reported missing to the Columbus Police Department. According to Ebony's loved ones, it's uncharacteristic of her to abandon her children or leave them alone in the apartment. As such, they were worried for her safety and are confident she didn't leave on her own accord.
No, she just loved her kids too much. She was an awesome mother. So there would be no reason for her to go anywhere and not reach out to her mom, her brother, her cousins. She would never do that.
If something Ebony gonna go somewhere, some of her brother or her mother would be there to her kids. She would never leave her kids alone. So that's why I know that it was a tragedy how this happened to her, because she don't leave her kids. She would never do that. She's a very good mother.
Tonight, March 12th, may not be an important day for many, but for one Columbus family, it's extremely significant and tragic. It's the anniversary of the day Ebony Giddens was last heard from alive.
Earlier in their investigation, police said that they didn't suspect foul play as there was no evidence of wrongdoing. In order to raise awareness about Ebony's disappearance, her family and friends handed out flyers all around Columbus, Georgia, as well as surrounding cities where she worked. Earlier in their investigation, investigators learned that Ebony had gotten into a domestic dispute with Malcolm Jackson before her disappearance. As a result, she had to call the police, claiming he jumped on her, hit her in the face, and threatened her with a gun. On March 10th, he had been arrested for misdemeanor assault and was booked in the county jail. He bailed himself out the same day. Upon being released from jail, he was ordered to stay away from Ebony, yet still attempted to call her numerous times. This was despite Ebony telling him that their relationship was over. Neighbors also claimed to have seen him working on Ebony's car the day before she was last seen. The day after Ebony went missing, Malcolm Jackson was jailed on charges of aggravated stalking and felony probation charges. However, according to the police, these charges weren't related to the missing case. During the trial, Jackson represented himself against the charges charges of assaulting and stalking Ebony. A year and a half later, a jury of 8 women and 4 men found him guilty on all counts.
Malcolm Jackson, the man representing himself against charges of assaulting and stalking his girlfriend days before her disappearance. The verdict, guilty on all counts.
Guilty.
In all my years as a prosecutor, and this is about 16 years, I have never been involved in a case like this. Ebony, as the evidence showed, put up with quite a bit of abuse.
He received the maximum penalty, 20 years for aggravated assault, 5 years for possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime, and 10 years for aggravated stalking. He won't start serving those sentences until November 2022, although that was some relief for her family, who was in the courtroom at the time. They were hoping to find clues throughout the trial that would help them with her disappearance.
Gideon's family members believe foul play may be involved, saying they believe her ex-boyfriend has something to do with it. He is currently convicted of other violent charges against Gideon's.
For a young lady, Ebony's size and caliber and the kind of person she was, to have to put up with that, I'm relieved that he was found guilty on all 3 charges. I'm saddened because she's not here, and he tried to defame her character during this whole trial. As big as he was, and the stuff that she endured, it hurts still that we couldn't do nothing about it, that I couldn't do nothing about it. And I think that's what hurt me the most. Because any young lady to have to go through something like that, domestic violence is not, in our society right now, it's a big issue, but it's not brought a light until something like this happens.
Until this day, police do not believe Jackson is a suspect in Ebony's disappearance. In April 2018, the Giddens family hired Columbus attorney and former Columbus mayor Bob. He met with investigators and told the family he believes the department is working hard to solve the case.
If anything happened out of the ordinary, just say something, because it may be small to you, but it may be the missing piece that they need to solve the mystery of where she is.
A former classmate of Ebony's from Spencer High School, 26-year-old Travis Gardner, contacted the missing woman's relatives to say he knew where she was and he would return her if they sent him $1 million. He threatened to deliver her body parts and pieces if the police were contacted or his demands weren't met. Upon police identifying the 26-year-old, he was arrested on charges of making terroristic threats and attempted extortion. He was also ordered to undergo a psychological evaluation. Currently, the family is offering a $10,000 reward for information that could help solve the case. Recently, details of the Columbus Police Department's search efforts have not been disclosed, they stated, because of the ongoing nature of the case. Today, investigators have said that multiple units are involved. However, they have nothing to report in the way of suspects or persons of interest.
This case has never been not active. It's 100% active. We're working on it, and we'll continue to work on it. We want to reassure the family that Ebony is not forgotten.
Ebony Giddens went missing from Montclair Drive in Columbus, Georgia on March 11th. At the time, she had short, braided black hair. Ebony has brown eyes and her ears are pierced. Currently, her case is classified as missing under suspicious circumstances. If you have any information regarding the whereabouts of Ebony, please call the Columbus Police Department Special Victims Unit at 706-653-3449. I will continue to keep Ebony's friends and family in my thoughts and prayers, especially her children. It's sad that it's going on 4 years and Ebony is still not found. I hope that justice is served and Ebony is found as soon as possible. You guys, let me know your thoughts and your opinions down below. Let's respect each other in the comments. I thank you guys so much for watching. Love you guys. And with that being said, don't forget to check on your loved ones.
And I'm just praying anybody out there in an abusive relationship, please, please tell somebody. So somebody can help, a family, a friend, the police, neighbors, anybody. Tell your pastor, talk to the church. But please don't put up with this, because I don't want nobody else's family to go through what we've been going through.